Welcome to this live stream. Technical difficulties galore. Thanks for hanging in there. Let me know if you're already on this live stream. Say hi. You know, I always like to know where you're streaming in from. I am based on the East Coast of the United States. That's where I'm streaming in from. It's 10 a.m. over on this end of the world. I always like to know who my audience is. Okay, I think that is the end of technical difficulties. And so welcome again to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you're new, welcome to my channel, Similolu. On this channel, I just try to be very, very transparent about my trading journey. I'm a self-taught trader and I've had to learn so much in the process. It took me almost 2 years to even register a profit outside of shares that I was holding. I've been into shares for a couple of decades now. But going into trading was a completely different ball game. And so that's what this channel is all about. All the things I learn, everything I have encountered, how I trade, how I enable my trading, my wins, my losses. But today, I think the topic of interest to everybody is what's going on with Bitcoin. And so I titled this live stream, is Bitcoin back on the rise or not? So I think we're at a point with Bitcoin. Give me a minute, let me switch to my document. So is Bitcoin back on the rise or is it not? I think that's the $1 million question. In this case, is the maybe the $100,000 question, because as of last year, late 2020, the projection, the forecast was that Bitcoin would hit $100,000 in 2021. So far, we were more than halfway to that goal when Bitcoin hit 64K thereabouts. But then we've had this major pullback. So pullbacks can be healthy if they don't fully pull back and become reversals. So the $1 million question or the $100,000 question in this case is Bitcoin reversing? Meaning, is the price going down? Meaning, are we now bearish with Bitcoin? Or is it just a healthy retracement? So retracements are healthy. So with that in mind, I'm going to go to some of the downers because there's been a lot of news with Bitcoin. And I came across this news. It says Bitcoin slid to a 2.5-month low on Thursday. So Thursday was I think the 13th maybe of May 2021. And so that was the lowest it's been in the last 2.5 months after a regulatory probe into crypto exchange Binance. For those of you who don't know Binance, the sound is very faint. Okay, let us help the sound along. How's this for sound? Mulenga says the sound is very, very faint. Is that the case for everybody, or is it just maybe something on your end, Mulenga? Anyway, I've increased my sound. I hope now I'm not too loud. I don't want to fiddle too much with my settings, so I don't just go press something and then the sound goes completely. Okay, I hope that's a little better. So there's been a lot of news over this past week, and Bitcoin, like I was saying, has slid to I won't say an all-time low because it's not an all-time low, but definitely a 2.5-month low on Thursday, and Binance, which is the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, guys, is being probed by the US, of course. The regulations in the US are very, very, very strict. And so even on Binance, for those of you who are in the US, you'll find out that the US version of Binance has very, very few coins compared to Binance in other countries. Okay, Mulenga says that's better. Okay, so yeah, but that's the situation with Bitcoin. And then again, we had this person which we all know very well. Those of you who didn't know Elon Musk before all this, I won't call it pandemonium, but just all this outbreak, negative news about cryptocurrency. He's been tweeting and saying stuff that has been affecting the price of Bitcoin and the price of Doge, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a negative way. So those are the two downers that I wanted to pick on that's been going on. And there's a bunch of other stuff going on, not just in the crypto world, but things that are going on that are affecting and impacting cryptocurrency on the whole. I do have some good news though, and that's this, that Bitcoin remains at about 70%. It's about 70% higher. Now let me increase. Let's get some full screen. Bitcoin is 70% higher for 2021 and is more than 1,000% higher than its 2020 low of 3,850. So all in all, Bitcoin is doing pretty well. It's all about, is the cup half full or is it half empty? So we're trying to look into, is Bitcoin back on the rise? So we've got some negative news. We have a positive news, which with this positive news, if you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, then you'll see that Bitcoin is doing pretty well. Now I'm going to come to this news a little later, but I want us to go to the charts. Now on my charts, I try for my charts not to get too messy, but the proof of a messy chart is the proof of your technical analysis. how much you are looking into your technical analysis, how much you allow your technical analysis to help you in your trading. I have a lot of newbies on my Telegram group, and I have a lot of seasoned traders as well. I thank God for them, because they help me not need to answer every single question on the group, because some of them are more have more years on cryptocurrency than I have, and I learn from them as well. But a lot of the newbies will say, is this a good time to enter into this coin? Is this a good time to buy this? Or is this a good time to sell that? And really, if you learn to understand your charts, you will know whether it's a good time or not to enter or exit from a trade. So here I have Bitcoin, the USDT chart, and some very interesting stuff that's been going on. I'm going to try to zoom in. Let me zoom in without losing my charts. Okay. So here we have my Bitcoin and USDT chart. And I want you guys to notice something from these two rectangular boxes that I've created here. I think it was 2 weeks ago, I did the live stream on the double bottom. And what was going on prior to that 2 weeks was this down trend. Okay. It wasn't a very happy time to wake up in the mornings and your watch list is all red. So that was going on for the better space of, that must have been 2 weeks. But then if you look at this lower wick, we did hit a bottom. We hit a bottom. And if I move over here, I think I wrote it. No. Okay. We did hit a bottom, and it was where this orange line is. We can see it on the 25th of April, it hit that bottom and then it spiked right back up, indicated by that skinny long wick. And from then on, it was up, up, up until, again, it started this week. So Bitcoin, since its all-time high of, I've lost my, oh, here it is. Since its all-time high of, let's see, 64,000, about 64,500, it has not been able to surpass, it has not even been able to get back to that level. So we've been operating below the 64K. But look at what's happened after this rise up here. And what happens over the last week, we have this dump. Nobody likes a dump except you're a short seller. Short sellers love the, they love it when there's red. I mean, I will short sell every now and then, but I like to go long. I'm a hodler. I hodl a lot of my cryptocurrency. I'll get to your questions in a minute. And so we have this dump, but guys, I want you to see what happened with the double bottom. I'm going to let me see. I like to clean my charts up a little bit, but I don't want to lose all my drawings. So I'll leave that for a while. I'm going to show you the double bottom. Look at it. It formed here, and look at it, guys. Today, this red candlestick that you see here in the rectangle, that is today. Today is the 15th of May, yeah? And 1, 2, 3. So that's over the last 3 days, Bitcoin has been oscillating. It's not going up. It's not coming down. It's just kind of just hanging out. Okay? So which is a beauty, which shows that it has tested the previous bottom from 2 weeks ago. It's run down again. It's tested the bottom, the same level, which that level is, let's see, let's put this here. I like my little indicators, I don't know what you call them, little drawing indicators here. It went down to about 46,800. And fortunately, it has not gone below this level. Now, guys, if it drops below the orange level, that is not good for Bitcoin, okay? Because then we'll be registering a lower low. So it'll be a low from 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, and then another low. So lower lows, that's a very bearish indication. But right now we have here a situation where it comes down to literally the same point right here where this skinny wick is, and right here where this green wick is. It came down and it bounced up. That's a sign that at this level we have a lot of buying activity going on. Buying will always send the price up. The question is, will this come down? Let's pull it like this. This we don't want. We don't want this situation. We don't want that. But what we want is, this is what we want. We want from here, this is what I want, and that's what we all want, and we want it to keep going. Once it goes past 64,800, it is celebrations all around. Golden moment if Bitcoin can break above 64. But before it breaks above 64, it's got a bit of work to do. We've got a bit of work to do because we've got to break above several other levels. Let's come out of this. Okay, so before it has to break above, now let's look for levels. Now, at this point, I want to mention drawing support and resistance levels. I like to say support and resistance are the backbone of technical analysis. I see someone's asked a question about Miguel JC says, how long did it take me to learn technical analysis? I'll say it's definitely the space of 2 years, but bear in mind, over the past, it's been 3 years now that I've been learning how to day trade. I've always been a hodler of stock and cryptocurrency. And even 4 years ago, when Bitcoin was kind of rearing its head and rising again, I was a noob back then. And basically, you're learning technical analysis as you go along. It's almost a no-brainer that, it's almost like once you learn your alphabets, once you learn your ABCs, what's happening is you will automatically be able to move on to reading. That's the only way to explain it. And I do tutor students. I tutor high schoolers and middle schoolers, and we're big on vocabulary words. So when they're reading a book and they come across a word, we'll stop to look into the meaning of the word. And what we're doing in the big picture is we're increasing their vocabulary and giving them a higher level of intellect, a wider vocabulary, such that when they read books that are even beyond their level, they can comprehend it. So in the grand scheme of things, they're increasing their comprehension. So also with trading, in the grand scheme of things, as you're learning A and the B and the C, you're increasing your technical analysis. And that's really the way I like to look at it. So bear this in mind. Now I'm going to go back to my document because I saw a very important, I think this is so important. Now, this is analysis from one of the, well, I won't say one of the signal groups I follow because it's the only signal group I follow. And it is, they posted this yesterday evening, and they're saying if this was the final shakedown meaning Bitcoin's going up and coming down and up and just shaking around and basically dumping. So if this is the final dump, and if 47,000 will keep on holding, Bitcoin is ready to make a new all-time high. ATH, all-time high. If you don't know any other acronym in technical analysis, no ATH because all-time highs are good. Okay, so all-time highs meaning a coin or a stock has made a price, the highest price it has ever made in its history. So that's good. So they're saying Bitcoin is scheduled to make a new all-time high condition if for as long as 47K is not broken, for as long as price action does not go below 47,000. If 47,000 is broken, hello, then we can anticipate it going down to 40, 42K, 43K. That is it. So be prepared if you're holding Bitcoin. Be prepared to know that if it goes below, now they say 47K and my orange line says 46,800. It's same difference because it's a question of technical analysis can be a little subjective sometimes. Like where I'll draw my level may be a little off from where you'll draw your level, depends on what you see. But this level, to be honest, is a zone because if I were to draw a zone, I'll get another, let's get another level. It would be here. Okay, so that's the orange line. It's not too prominent. Sorry, that's the white line. So this white line, I like it a little thicker. Let's move that up a bit. Okay, let's just, yeah. So this white line, between the white line and the orange line, is the point at which Bitcoin can dip and it still be okay. It can dip as is indicated by the wicks. This here dipped down. It dipped down to the orange line. This wick dipped down and went past the orange line. This wick also. But for as long as they don't break below the orange, then we're still good. And we're looking at a bullish Bitcoin movement from here on. The minute this next candle stick dips below, then guys, game over. Game over for Bitcoin in the short term. So it's in the short term because Bitcoin is moving up ultimately. And that is about all I have for you with regard to Bitcoin. If you look at the MACD also, we can see that there is a decrease in price action with the red, with these red bars, and they're increasing. Now, at this point, we want it to begin to taper out. So we want the same size of, let me see if I can see something. Like we can see these two greens. See these two greens here? These two greens, price action, tapered off, didn't increase anymore. And then the next thing was a decrease. And that was at these 2 points. So that's what we want to happen here with the red. We want, if there's going to be another bar, we want it to be the same level as the red bar before it. And then we want to see light pink, guys. Light pink meaning up, 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 up. Up, up, up means profit, profit, profit. Profit taking. And that is it. And I think about now, oh, yes. And I said I was going to come back to this. So this prognosis, projection, forecast, I got from the Signal group. If you're interested in that Signal group, yeah, well, you know, if you're interested in the Signal group, join the Telegram group on the link. The link is in the box, in the chat box, and the Signal group is pinned to the top of that Telegram group. If you're not part of a group, you don't have to be part of my Telegram group, but be a part of a community, because trading on your own is difficult, really. It's difficult. It's good to be in a body of like-minded traders where some of them are privy to some information before you would be privy to information, and then it could be information that could help you get out of a trade or get into a trade at the right time. And that is it, guys. I hope that's been useful to know that Bitcoin is just at that point where, let me go back to the charts. I just like my charts. You gotta fall in love with your charts, guys. Your charts is like your navigation system. Your charts tells you what to do. Go, stop, don't stop, keep going, and all that. Questions? I already answered JC's question, which is how long did it take me to learn technical analysis? The honest truth, I'm still learning technical analysis. That's the truth. I know some technical analysis, but there are a bunch of things that I feel if I have more time. I operate 3 businesses, guys. YouTube is one of my businesses. And if I can just have more time to just learn more, I feel I'll be even better at technical analysis. At the end of the day, technical analysis is like those weather people, weather men, weather women who stand in front of us at the end of a news reel to tell us what they believe the weather will be the next day. Most times they're right. Most times. They say it's going to be sunny the next day, you better believe it. They say it's going to thunderstorm the next day, you better believe it. But they've studied, they've done all their weather technical analysis. Ridwan, altcoins gaining ground and new promising projects are being churned out. I know that won't deter Bitcoin from getting back on the rise. Thank you. So there you are. Ridwan is just like me. He's a believer in Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin is going to hit 100K. So this is a good time. This is not financial advice, but it is what I'm doing. You can pick up some more Bitcoin at this point. And to be honest, it's probably more affordable to pick up the altcoins right now, because when Bitcoin pops up, you know, those altcoins are going to jump with Bitcoin. I'm a strong believer in Ethereum. I'm a hodler of Ethereum. And some years ago when I started cryptocurrency, Ethereum was under $600. Will you believe Ethereum now at over 4,000? So that's the beauty of cryptocurrency. I love my Ethereum. Let's look at what Ethereum is doing. Since I don't see any questions, I'm just going to keep on with a little bit more charting. Ethereum, Ether for short, somewhere here. Oh guys, look at my Ether. Well, you can make Ether yours if you invest in Ether. Look at this beauty. Now, doesn't that look like beauty in action? Of course, we see that Ethereum at this point, let's zoom in a little bit. Ethereum is consolidating around this area. So let's see. Charts. So it's hit a high, but we're always, when you're charting, most times you're mainly interested in the top and the bottom of your candlesticks, not so much the wicks. The wicks tell a different story. The bodies tell a different story. So if I'm going to click on area of consolidation, it's going to be here. So Ethereum is in a accumulation or consolidation phase, which is good. After this upward move, most stocks, or you find that most of your securities, they all operate the same way. They run up or they run down. They must take a breath. They must stop for breath. And when they do that, it's a good sign. They stop, and then there's this like sideways movement. Usually you don't want to get into a trade when there's accumulation. It depends. You could decide to get into Ethereum if, say, you're long-term on Ethereum, and it wouldn't matter to you whether it's going through an accumulation period or not. Just like, I want my Ethereum. Okay. If Ethereum breaks below the rectangle, again, that's a bearish sign. But if it breaks above, and we're all hoping it does, as it has been doing over the past, guys, how long has Ethereum been on the move? Let's look. Can I see? Let me move. Ethereum has been on the move since the 25th of April. So this is 3 weeks. Nice. So I'm looking forward to Ethereum breaking above here. And once it does, that's good. Tony Best has a question. And his question is, we were told that once Bitcoin is going down, other coins will be down as well. But this time around, altcoins have been going up like never before. What could be the cause? What could be the cause? You see, that's interesting because Bitcoin moving up. Now, it depends on, it's a bit like the view you get on different time frames. On a large time frame, like the daily or the weekly, let me see if I can show that. So this is a daily, and let's go to Ethereum's weekly, and let's get rid of this. If we go to Ethereum's weekly, we just see this nice upward. You see, we see this nice upward movement. But if we go to Ethereum's, say, 15-minute chart, let's go to the hourly. Sometimes it takes a while to understand how to manipulate these charts. So if we go to the hourly, we see there's more of this kind of sideways movement. Look at all this. You see, we don't see that nice upward swoosh. And it's the same with your question, Tony. All in all, if Bitcoin is up, the general price of generally the alts will move in the direction of Bitcoin. But within that time frame, looking on a smaller time frame, where we have BT dominance and then we have the altcoins, it's like there's been a switch over. And so BT is no longer at the high of whatever that was with its dominance, 50% and above. It's now operating below 50%. So it's the time for the alts to almost play catch up with Bitcoin. And that's why we'll have alt seasons. So alt seasons, whilst Bitcoin is accumulating and just doing this, well, I'm on an Ethereum chart, but I'm illustrating. While it's accumulating, as Bitcoin has been accumulating. Bitcoin has been accumulating. Let's go back. You see, Bitcoin. I'll get rid of there. Bitcoin has been accumulating, guys. Just look at this rectangle. It's not going up, it's not coming down. And so it's time for the altcoins almost to play catch up. So they're moving. Imagine two escalators moving at the same speed, and then one slows down. That's Bitcoin slows down, and the other one doesn't slow down. So it gives the altcoins an opportunity to kind of close the gap, if you like. So both theories are valid. It's just a question of which angle you're looking at it from, and you know, how you trade and what you want to get out of the information. So both angles are valid, which are, once Bitcoin is going down, other coins will go down. But right now we're seeing Bitcoin is going down, yet the coins are going up. Good. It's a good time to jump on the alts. Jump on the alts. Have a trading plan. Have a strategy. I'm long-term Bitcoin, or sometimes at times like this, I'll take some of my Bitcoin and I'll pop it into the alts. I'm never totally out of Bitcoin. I'm always in Bitcoin. It's a question of how much am I in Bitcoin and how little. So at times like this, I'll take some of my Bitcoin. This is not financial advice. This is what I do. It works for me. And I'll pop it on some of the alts. Some of the alts, I've put it on Doge, for instance, and some others. Hope that answered the question. Henry Jerry. He says, always happy to see your video anywhere and anytime. Okay. I'm looking at the time. If you guys don't have any specific questions, how have you been doing with your trading this past week? It's been a rough week. Pretty rough. 2 days ago, it was what I call carnage. There was red everywhere. But what happened? You have to, it's important. As traders, it's important to not panic, to learn not to panic. I don't know where those came from. It's important to learn not to panic, because let's look at what was going on. It was scary. Look at that. Just look at that. Let me see if I can draw something. Look at this. Bad news. Down, 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 down. And it's important to understand the professionals. They manipulate the market. If you put $16 billion into Bitcoin, I guarantee you the price will run up. If you sell $16 billion worth of Bitcoin, the price will dump. Guys, that's what we've been seeing. They've been manipulating the market. And then what they do, after they force the price down, they then proceed to use fresh funds to pick it up cheap. And guess what happens? As soon as they throw in $30 billion at a cheap price, you know it, the price is running up. That's how these hedge funds and all these big institutions, financial institutions, this is how they make their money. So as the retail trader, you are considered a retail trader. I'm considered a retail trader. We don't trade for institutions or for bodies or groups or anything like that. It's important when price is dumping not to bail ship. It's important to understand if you're holding for the long term. And if you're holding for the long term, you're going to have to deal with the carnage. Because what goes down, guys, you know it, will go up. And that is true of Bitcoin specifically. Marigold Wilberforce says, hi, Simi. Marigold from the UK. How about trading the coins against each other? So ETH against Bitcoin. Well, to be honest with you, Marigold, that's what we're always doing. We're always trading the coins against each other. And so the fact that you want to trade Ethereum against Bitcoin, all it simply means is consider, again, two elevators. One is Ethereum, one is Bitcoin. They're both moving up. It's just at this moment in time, the Bitcoin elevator, did I say elevator? I want to say escalator for my illustration. the Bitcoin escalator is just slowed down. So there's nothing wrong with you jumping on the Ethereum escalator for now, because you know what? It's still going up like we showed. This is Bitcoin. Look at it. Bitcoin is moving sideways, and this is Ethereum. This is Ethereum on the 1 hour. But when we look at Ethereum on the daily, it looks pretty nice. Nope, let's get rid of that. Let me increase this and then try and do what I'm trying to do. Move this. Sometimes, you know, I don't know, I feel I get a little confused with these some of these my drawing tools, because I work on several platforms, guys. And a double click on one platform means one thing. I go to another platform, a double click is doing something else. So this is what I'm trying to do. So this is Ethereum on the daily, and this is where Ethereum is consolidating right now. And let's move that down. I mean, so the Ethereum escalator prior to 4 days ago was moving up. So trading one against the other is good. That's why we're called day traders. We simply want to put our funds into a coin that we believe is moving at the pace and in the direction that we want it to move. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. The thing with trading is there's so many areas in which you could specialize, where you could focus your time and energy. And for some people it's arbitrage. Others it's, you know, they focus on altcoins. You know, others focus on maybe they scalp. Meaning they throw a lot of funds to make profit with a very small change in price action. So whatever you do, just be good at what you do, know what works for you, and do it. Yeah, and let's know how it goes. Again, I think it was JC asking me about technical analysis and saying how long did it take to learn. I don't feel I'm done learning. I don't even feel I'm like 50% of the way. I'm constantly learning, constantly. So YouTube is an awesome resource to learn technical analysis. Obviously, I am on YouTube. I've done a lot of learning on YouTube, and I'm still learning on YouTube. Follow YouTubers, and I know you do, but you know, I'll say it anyway. Where, you know, you want to learn technical analysis, follow them. The minute they upload a video, study it. You'll get good at it in no time at all. And so at this point, if there are no more questions, I'm going to let everybody get on with the rest of their day. Over in the United States, on the East Coast, Saturday is still 10:40 a.m. For those of you in the other parts of the world, to the east of the United States, it's later in the day. So I want to thank you all for spending your time, your weekend with me. And you know, I will be here same time, same place next week, and I will see you then.